Welcome everybody to Grapplefuck. Apologies for how I'm positioned. I unfortunately injured myself during an MMA session. Basically sparring someone a lot heavier than me, picked him up, slammed him on the ground, and blew my back out. That's a story I'm putting out there anyway. But we're covering.
What actually happened, Waleed? Give us the truth.
Uh, just blew my back out somehow. I don't know. What did I do? Oh yeah, I initially hurt it during deadlifts, and then I went for a few MMA sessions that exacerbated it. So for anyone out there who feels something in their lower back after deadlifts, get that seen to straight away. Don't think you can push through it, because it's just going to get worse.
Yeah, I echo that sentiment, and I fully sympathise with Waleed's pain. I've also had a slip disc in my back, exactly from doing deadlifts. I didn't let it heal properly, and doing jiu-jitsu, it went. Doing Muay Thai, it went, and it caused me the most agonising pain I've ever felt in my life. So,
Pussy. No, I'm joking.
yeah,
Sorry, that was uncalled for. No, it's very painful, and also wear a belt, people, when you do deadlifts.
correct form. Yeah, correct form is
Correct
crucial.
form.
Yeah.
Exactly. But on to more important things. The Reaper is fighting the Killer Gorilla. Robert Whittaker versus Jared Cannonier, number 1 versus number 2. Let's get into this. So Rob Whittaker, Bobby Knuckles, we know him very well. Former middleweight champion, lost the belt to Adesanya. 22-5. Jared was 13-4. Jared used to fight at heavyweight, then went down to light heavyweight, and then he's at middleweight now. I believe he's had 3 fights at middleweight, around the same height. Jared's got a substantial reach advantage, 4 inches. Rob's got a 1.5-inch leg reach advantage. In terms of the breakdown of the fights, Jared gets mostly KOs. Rob's got a few decisions on there. Jared's got less fight time. Getting down to significant strikes. Both have a positive differential. Jared lands more significant strikes. It should be said that Robert Whittaker's had a fair few more fights in the UFC than Jared. And some of Jared's fights were at heavyweight, where traditionally less punches are thrown and so on. Normally less punches are thrown. Absorb per minute, Rob absorbs more per minute. Defense, Jared's is better. Grappling, yeah, the advantages for Rob. He has better jiu-jitsu. I also think he's where he's from in Australia, he's some kind of wrestling champ, or he's won something in wrestling. I remember reading about it. Not quite sure what it was, but he does have better grappling, I would say. Takedown defense, very low for Jared. Surprised by that, because his takedown defense against Hermansson looked very good.
It did get taken down though.
Yeah, he got taken down and he got straight back up. Did he get taken down? I think he only got taken down officially once or twice in that fight.
Yeah, I mean, my memory of that fight is Jared Cannonier working his way back up steadily against the back of the cage, which was very impressive, because Hermansson's a very good grappler.
Yeah, Hermansson's a good grappler. He doesn't have the best takedown accuracy. I don't think he's from a wrestling background. He's BJJ, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty low. Rob doesn't really go for takedowns, though. He can get them if he wants to. He's got decent wrestling. So what are your initial thoughts? I mean, this is a very, very challenging one to kind of pick apart, really.
Yeah, it is a challenging one. I think it's a really interesting matchup. And on this podcast before, I've kind of badmouthed Whittaker a little bit. Having researched his fights thoroughly, I have a newfound appreciation for his striking ability.
Yeah.
There's some high-level stuff going on. He throws a lot of feints, to get reactions out of you. He throws nice combinations. He's got nice head movement, and he just looks like a very good striker. And of course, he's knocked a lot of people out. He's dropped a lot of people. It's just all very good stuff. On the other hand, you've got Jared Cannonier. Is not half as sophisticated, but it's effective.
Yeah,
He's got that natural power, a lot more natural power than say Robert Whittaker. So it's an interesting trade-off here, how these sort of striking styles are going to trade off against each other. And by the way, I'm assuming this. I think we can almost guarantee this will stay standing. I don't think either fighter will elect to take this to the ground. So on the one hand, you've got Robert Whittaker with his high-level striking, the more sophisticated approach to striking. The problem with Whittaker against somebody like Jared Cannonier, as I see it, he is his stance. He tends to lean forward in a boxing stance, head forward, leaning heavily on that front leg, which is great for boxing. But it does expose you to just getting jabbed in the face, especially against a longer opponent like Jared Cannonier, who's got a 4.5-inch reach advantage, I believe.
yeah,
And it also exposes you to those calf kicks, because if you're leaning heavily on that front leg, you cannot check those kicks. And that could be a problem, particularly because Jared Cannonier has got decent calf kicks. On the other hand, Jared Cannonier, he tends to throw single shots. It's mostly the jab, occasionally a right cross, occasionally a left hook, but it's typically one shot. He doesn't throw combinations, and he doesn't use
yeah,
the jab to set anything up. So in that sense, it's not very sophisticated, and there's a problem in that because Robert Whittaker throws more volume, and if it goes to decision, Jared Cannonier probably going to be behind on the strikes. So if it goes to
yeah,
decision, Cannonier will probably lose that fight, even if he's hitting him harder and doing more damage, just because that's the way judges tend to score these things. That said, the counterpoint to that is okay, Jared Cannonier throws everything with power. Even if he's not trying
yeah.
to knock you out, everything he throws hurts.
Mm,
He's just that kind of guy. So to be fair to him, if he's landing that jab, and he probably will land that jab against Whittaker because he's got the longer range, if he's landing that and he's hurting him, why not? If that works, then why not? But yeah, and to be fair, Calvin Kattar does that. Calvin Kattar is a very high level boxer, and for much of his fights, he will just pump that jab and just jab your
yeah,
face off for 15 minutes. So that can work. But Jared Cannonier needs to wear him down. He needs to hit him hard enough to wear him down to create an opening where he can finish him with,
yeah.
a right cross or a hook or something. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you got a pretty spot on there. I think Robert Whittaker is the better overall MMA fighter. He's got better striking, in my opinion, in terms of technique, and also the way he mixes it in with his offensive wrestling, with his grappling, is a lot more sophisticated than Jared. However, Jared has got stupid power, and he's looked phenomenal in his last three performances, particularly against Manson. Was very patient, chopped at his legs, didn't get worried when he got taken to the ground, got straight back up. So he's riding high at the moment, Jared. Whittaker is also coming off a good win against Darren Till. Before that, he lost to Adesanya. But I think Whittaker's got the better CV as well, in that he's had more fights in the UFC and he's beaten better opposition.
Yeah.
I personally think he lost the second fight to Yo Romero, but I mean, he did beat him in the first fight, in my opinion. And he's beaten a whole host of other guys too. The problem I have with Whittaker is I think those two fights with Romero took a lot out of him. A hell of a lot. In terms of he got knocked out against Adesanya, and Till hurt him pretty badly in his fight too. And I would argue that in terms of one punch KO power, Jared probably has more, well, definitely has more power than Till. I think he's got more power than Adesanya, but I think Adesanya's got a lot better technique. That's why he knocks guys out. His timing is just a lot better. But I think pure power, Jared's probably the hardest hitter in that division.
Yeah.
And what I'm thinking is, I'm slightly leaning more towards Whittaker because I think he's just the more experienced fighter. But what happens if Jared just lands one flush? Given that he has been TKO'd a few times before. So has Jared, in fairness, but Jared's been TKO'd and KO'd at heavyweight and light heavyweight, which is a different thing, you know. You're getting punched in the face by a 120-kilo man, and then suddenly a few years later, you're getting punched in the face by an 85-kilo man. It's a big difference.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, it's a tough one. I think Robert's definitely the better overall MMA fighter. Throws more volume. He's great at reading people. Great at feinting. Got good hands. Good everything. Good kicks. Very good fighter. Jared's just on a roll, and he just seems to be getting better and better at middleweight.
Yeah, just to poke another hole in Whittaker's game.
Yeah.
Against longer fighters, and I think against a lot of fighters he's fought, he tends to lunge in. He tends to close the gap with strikes. You know, he puts his head down and just throws, these looping left hooks, or he just goes like this, which is not. I mean, to be fair, he's knocked people out doing that. He's dropped people doing that.
Yeah, he's knocked a lot of people out doing that. Yeah.
But at some point, someone's going to make you pay for that. And he did that against Darren Till in the first round, where he came in like this. I can't remember what punches he threw exactly, but Darren Till saw him coming in, threw the
Hit with an elbow. Yeah.
Smashed him hard in the mouth.
Really hard. Yeah.
And in the Izzy fight as well, Robert Whittaker came in, so kind of throws a couple of shots to close the distance. He's right there in the pocket, and then Adesanya just counters him and drops him.
With the Izzy fight, he had the complete wrong game plan against Izzy. That's not what you do with Izzy. You could probably get away with that with Till because Till's not that much bigger than him. Till's the same height, so it's cost benefit. If I rush Till, for instance, Masvidal rushed Till, switched stance, rushed him, knocked him out. But against Adesanya, that's the complete wrong game plan. You cannot rush Adesanya. With Adesanya, I think the only way to beat him for the shorter guys is to make it a very boring fight. Kind of how Yo Romero did, stay on the outside and try and outpoint him, but even that's very, very difficult.
You can't do that against Adesanya. Fighting at range with Adesanya, you're going to get picked apart. So it's like pick your poison. You know, you get picked apart on the outside, or you have to rush in.
Yeah, you can't rush in either. I would argue that it's probably safer to stay on the outside and not make the first move as Yo Romero did. But that makes it an incredibly boring fight.
Yeah. You know what's something Whittaker's really good at is those chaotic, messy moments where they're both swinging.
He's really good.
Yeah. Whittaker seems to find his target. He seems very calm in those moments. Even that, did you see the Derek Brunson fight? Derek Brunson was all over him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Whittaker just perfect placement, knocks him out. He did that against.
He's had a lot of experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been in the UFC a long, long time.
And in the Darren Till fights, Darren Till was pressuring, and yeah, Whittaker's going backwards, check hook, lands beautifully. So in those messy moments, those chaotic moments, I think he does brilliantly. I think
he does.
That's a uniquely brilliant thing that he does. But then I think Jared Cannonier is pretty good at that as well. I'm trying to remember the fight where he knocks. I think he uppercuts somebody going backwards. Can't remember who that
Yeah.
was.
Um,
Might have been was that Hermanson?
no, that wouldn't have been Hermanson, I don't think.
Maybe David Branch. Yeah, probably David Branch.
Yeah, so Branch he KO'd, and Anderson Silva he KO'd, but I mean he's ancient.
I've got a question in that Anderson Silva fight. That fight ended really weirdly because Jared Cannonier kicked his inside leg kick, kicked Anderson Silva's knee. Anderson Silva drops to the ground. Then the referee calls it off immediately.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that, but why that was ended.
Did he drop to the ground holding his leg? I can't remember.
It just dropped to the ground. I wonder if Anderson Silva told the referee, "I've got a problem with my leg."
Possibly, because he's broken his leg before, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah, it may have possibly been that.
yeah, it's very
Um,
strange.
but yeah, I mean he went at 205. He went to decisions against Blachowicz and Teixeira. He beat Kutalaba. He got knocked out by Reyes in the first round. At heavyweight, he beat Asker and he lost to Sean Jordan. If we compare that to Robert Whittaker's CV in the UFC, he's just had a lot more fights and a lot better wins. And he's
I
gone 5 rounds twice against a very dangerous opponent. And he went 5 rounds with Till too. But yeah, I'm leaning slightly more towards Whittaker in this, but he has taken a hell of a beating over the last few years.
Yeah, I was gonna say exactly that. He's still young, but
He is, yeah, he's
there's a
what,
bit of
5, 6 years
mileage.
younger than, yeah,
Yeah, there's a bit of mileage on that clock, I think.
there is definitely.
Uh, and it's something you alluded to earlier. I think something about the mental game. After that second Romero fight, he took some time off. He's talked about it in interviews. He wasn't very happy with his life, about the whole
Yeah,
fighting game. Uh, I mean, then to be fair, he comes back and fights Darren Till and puts in a very, very good performance. So I don't know.
yeah. Till did Terra's ACL in that fight. Um,
Do you know in which round?
I can't remember, but I think he's a better overall fighter than Till anyway. I think Till is an amazing striker, but he really doesn't mix it up well with his grappling. Uh, his wrestling's non-existent pretty much.
Till striking is decent. He just doesn't throw enough. That's the
Who?
problem.
Sorry?
Till.
Yeah, no, I said Till's striking is good. It's just his ground game and stuff that's off.
No, yeah, I mean
Uh,
his striking is good. He just doesn't throw enough volume. That's his problem.
yeah, he waits quite a lot.
Yeah,
He waits a lot. He's a counter striker. Um, but yeah, so I think overall I'm leaning slightly more towards Robert Whittaker just because he's had a lot more experience, and I think he's the better he's an overall better rounded MMA fighter than Jared Cannonier. But this is very close for me. This is like 55-45. I wouldn't be surprised if like Jared KO'd him in round 2.
yeah, yeah. So if Whittaker wins, how would he win?
I think decision or late TKO maybe.
Mm,
More likely a decision, I think.
yeah.
Mm,
My concern for Whittaker is him lunging forward because Jared Cannonier is shorter, but he's got the longer reach. Whittaker is going to have to close that gap. And I feel like Jared Cannonier, with that power, those just short punches, those uppercuts, jack hooks,
yeah,
can catch him coming on the way in. And I feel at distance, Cannonier can hurt him with that jab. and maybe just sap Whittaker's energy, sap his confidence, get him on the back foot, perhaps. Um, yeah, but one thing we didn't mention is Whittaker's feints. Whittaker throws a lot of feints,
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
and a potential deciding factor in this fight could be whether Jared Cannonier reacts to those feints. Because if Whittaker, feints a punch, and Jared Cannonier goes to counter, but Whittaker is waiting for that counter and then counters himself, Jared Cannonier could have a very difficult time. Or if Whittaker throws a feint and then Jared Cannonier covers up, well, then
Could
Whittaker can
take him
land.
down.
Or if
Could take him
Whittaker
down.
just steps backwards, gets on his back foot, and if that happens a few times in each round, that could be a deciding factor. And I don't know how Cannonier is going to react to those feints.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be surprised if Whittaker took him down once or twice. I think he's got that capability to do it.
But what's his takedown average?
It's not great, but I've seen him take down a few people. He took Till down, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah. 30%, and his takedown defense is 84%.
Okay.
So he took Till down twice. He took Uriah Hall down once. He took Clint Hester down once. Yeah, so he doesn't really go for takedowns. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're probably right. This should mainly be a standing game, I think.
I think he could get
Standing
it to the
fight.
ground, but he may need more than one takedown to do.
Yeah, he would definitely need more than one attempt because Jared Cannonier's takedown defense in the last fight looked very, very good. So Hermansson only scored one takedown on him, one official takedown in that fight.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, just another thing. Jared Cannonier is probably the far stronger guy. I mean, just looking at him, he's an absolute beast.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, he's used to fighting heavyweights and light heavyweights. So it's like situations up against the cage, in the clinch, in the scramble. Cannonier could have an advantage here.
Yeah.
Just from sheer strength. I mean, look at that guy. I mean, he's a beast.
Yeah, he is.
He also looks scary. Look at those eyes, man.
Dude, Jared Cannonier is a sweetheart, mate. He has stones that gives him power and shit.
Yeah.
Pyrite.
Do you believe in that stuff, Waleed?
I don't, but whatever helps him. If he's carrying pyrite around and it's helping him, whatever, man.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Why not? Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck pyrite is, but it's clearly helping him. I mean, they're both quite odd characters. Robert Whittaker's just like a video gamer. And Jared Cannonier is a guy who thinks rocks give him special powers. So it is intriguing personalities about to fight.
Definitely. Who do you think is the favorite going into this fight?
Who do I think is the favorite? That's a good question. I'll probably say Jared, slight favorite because he's on a 3-fight win streak. And he's been KOing people left, right, and center.
Yep, pretty much spot on, yeah. Cannonier is a -125 favorite, and Whittaker is even money.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense to me. But I think Robert Whittaker should be a slight favorite.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's really borderline.
Yeah, it's incredibly borderline. I mean, this is going nowhere near the comes. Nowhere fucking near.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah.
The thing is with Cannonier, he's going to have to get the knockout. He's going to get outstruck, I believe. He cannot let this go to decision.
No, he needs the knockout, which he could potentially get. So, what are the odds on a Jared KO? TKO?
Let's have a look. 4 to 6. Plus 150.
No, for fuck's sake. What,
Yeah.
what about Robert Whittaker?
Plus 400.
It's not bad.
I don't love it.
Excuse me. Oh, fuck. Oh, Jesus.
You're back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
Oh, fuck. All right, I'll stop being a pussy. Sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, the thing is, I know Robert Whittaker's got plenty of KOs on his record. I just don't think he's going to KO Cannonier.
Yeah, Cannonier spent a lot of his life taking shots from fucking 120 kilo guys. So
Yeah, I mean, including Jan Blachowicz and Dominic Reyes. So
yeah. Yeah. What are the odds for it to go to decision?
let's have a look. Will the fight go the distance? Plus 125. Wait, let me check this.
What?
My maths isn't great.
All right.
Plus 120 to go the distance.
Okay.
Those are not good odds.
Yeah, they're not good at all.
So from my point of view, as you said, this is not going anywhere near the come.
No, no way. No way.
I don't think anybody can predict how this is going to go,
No.
but it's definitely going to be a very interesting fight.
I think this will be better than the main fight.
It could be, yeah.
In my opinion, this will probably be more entertaining than the main fight. These two are just going to throw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Whittaker's going to come forward. He's going to close that distance, and there's going to be some pretty heavy exchanges going on.
Yeah. So moving on to official predictions. This is razor thin, guys. I'm leaning slightly more towards Robert Whittaker because of the reasons previously. He beaten better people. He's a more well-rounded fighter, and I think he's got better striking and better grappling and so on. I give it 55-45 to Robert Whittaker. There's definitely a possibility that Jared could get him out of there within the 5 rounds. And Andrew?
Yeah, I'm giving it marginally to Robert Whittaker on the basis that Cannonier needs that KO.
Yeah.
If it goes to decision, Whittaker probably wins just because he throws more volume. So yeah, Whittaker by decision.
Oh yeah, I didn't say. Yeah, I think by decision as well.
Yeah.
And just to reiterate, this is going nowhere near the safe or the risky come. To be honest, I don't even think it's wise to put an individual bet down on this. It's so 50-50 that I can't.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I just don't know. But yeah, that's it, folks. We'll be back soon with more fight picks. Stay tuned. A few changes have been made to the fight card. Islam's off, as many people know. Umar is off as well. That's Khabib's younger cousin. But we'll break down some other fights very, very soon. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching and take care, everyone.
Bye.